On August 8, 2016, Louisville Metro Police responded to a call about a domestic dispute. They found Darnell Wicker with a saw in his hand. Soon after, they shot him 14 times.
Drop the knife!
One of two officers who fired the shots was Bo Gattagard. He was involved in at least 10 use-of-force incidents in the first year and a half as an LMPD officer, a record that would later be questioned by civil rights attorney Al Gerhardstein in a lawsuit by Wicker's family against LMPD.
And it sort of clicked that one of the reasons my client was killed was because the man who shot him had never been properly flagged by this very simple tool.
LMPD wasn't using what experts say is one of the most powerful tools to prevent police misconduct, an early warning system. It tracks certain officer behaviors and alerts the department when a pattern emerges. The goal? Intervene with counseling or training before something serious or even tragic happens.
Just a lot of curious questions around his conduct. These are the types of things that an employee tracking system picks up. And now they're going to finally do it.
Last week, the city of Louisville reached a $12 million settlement with the family of Breonna Taylor, a little more than 6 months after Louisville Metro Police officers shot and killed Taylor in her apartment. It's the largest settlement against LMPD in the city's history, and it also includes a promise to implement a series of police reforms.
We will implement an early warning system that tracks all use of force incidents, citizen complaints, investigations, and other key factors.
That surprised some listening to the settlement announcement.
That is something that the police department promoted years ago and said that they had implemented. I just wonder what types of things could have been avoided.
A Newsy and Kentucky Center for Investigative Reporting joint investigation has found that while the department repeatedly told officials and the public that it was using an early warning system, in fact, they have never used it. Since 2015, LMPD has reported at least 5 times that they were utilizing or in the process of implementing early warning system software. So in 2017, when Al Gerhardstein was deposing former police chief Steve Conrad, he was trying to figure out why the officer who shot his client, why that officer hadn't been flagged.
You have an early warning system at the LMPD, right?
Sort of.
What do you mean by you sort of have an early warning system?
We don't have one that is operational.
3 years after Conrad's deposition, LMPD's policy manual actually says that they use an early warning system. LMPD declined our request for an interview, but in a string of emails, a spokesperson confirmed that an early alert system was never activated. One reason, he said, the local police union was worried the proposed system created a paper trail of perceived potential issues and could be problematic for the department.
An alert or an indicator doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong.
The Lexington Police Department has been using an early warning system since 2004.
And it's not negative against the officer. It's just saying, hey, there's been a couple things go on here. Just make sure things are right.
Look at him. Look at his face. I'm not moving. Look at problem. You see?
While it's impossible to know what would have happened if Gattagard's supervisors had an early warning system to alert them to his behavior, if he had been a Lexington police officer, his record would have been flagged at least 4 times in 6 months. In late 2019, the family of Darnell Wicker requested that LMPD implement the early warning system as part of their settlement with the city. Instead, the city agreed to pay $1.25 million, but not implement any police reforms.
Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor!
3 months later, Breonna Taylor was shot and killed. One of the officers who shot her, Brett Hankison, was fired after LMPD said he showed an extreme indifference to the value of human life for shooting wantonly and blindly into Taylor's apartment. According to a Newsy-KYCIR analysis of LMPD records, he had 31 use-of-force incidents in a 9-year period. If Hankison was an officer with Lexington, that would have triggered at least 4 alerts for use of force alone. Carrie Cochran, Newsy, Louisville, Kentucky.